Good morning, everyone. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody's well and being safe. Um, Here in Dallas, we have been told that we cannot go outside unless we are wearing a mask. My husband's working, so he had been having to wear a mask before that. And so is my son, who works in one of the food industry places where they have takeout. And it just happens to be close to one of the hospitals. So he has to have a mask as well. Now, everybody's ran out of elastic. I've called Joann, not called, I looked online, and Joann's just completely out of it. And I haven't checked on Amazon, but I'm sure they're probably out of it as well. The hospitals, when you're making for the hospitals, they have to be sterile. You have to be sterile. You have to be wearing gloves and everything else like that. But if you're making it for family members or even the nursing homes, it doesn't have to be in quite as sterile conditions. But I came up with a solution to make up for the elastic shortage, and that was to create my own seam binding. And I did that by using an old sheet, or, sometimes you have plenty of sheets. You can always buy more after this is over with. Most of the sheets you buy are cotton. And it doesn't really matter with the sheet, though, because it's not what you need. Now, I made my guys denim mask because there's much more dense as far as the fabric goes, and I used the large trash bag ties that are, and I put it up into the nose part up here for them to be able. Now, I haven't put the seam binding on the top of this. This was like a prototype, and I kind of messed up on one part of it. Instead of tucking, when you go to do the corner, the end seams, when this is still inside out, and right when you are going to sew all the way around, except for your one opening, so that you can turn it back inside out, you're going to want to you'll tuck your ends instead of like how I did on the outside because I forgot to tuck it in. You will turn them the opposite direction, but when you'll sew it detached, and when you flip it over, it will be sticking out from inside, and it'll be really more reinforced than how that is. Now, as far as the top seam binding, let me show you first. This is already folded. This is already folded up. Let me unfold it right quick. And as you can see, this is just a piece of fabric that is cut 1.5 inches wide. And what I did first, oops, here it goes, 1/2 inch. That I was wondering why that didn't look like 1/2 inch. What I did first was I ironed it in half. I folded it in half like this and got the center seam. And then I opened it back up after I had folded it, and I folded both sides, folded again, so that both ends met at that center seam right there, and ironed it. Then after I ironed that, I folded it again and ironed it. And there you have your seam binding with the opening right here. Now you're going to take your mask that you've made, and you'll just find the center on the seam binding that you have. There's my center right there. You'll find your center, and you'll put it on your mask, and then you'll start at, go ahead and pin it to the top of your mask to keep it in place right up here on the bridge. And then with your thread, start here on the end, fold the ends over, and then we'll take your end here and fold it over. Wished I had one completed, but I don't. They're all dirty. You'll fold it over, and then you will sew all the way at the end that's open. You'll go ahead and close it, sew it all the way down. You get to your mask, and be sure you catch both ends of your seam binding on your mask, and then just sew it all the way around. You get to the other side, and then sew it on down. Now, whenever they put their mask on, like this, this is a rough example, I'm awfully sorry. They'll take it, instead of they'll tie it to the back of the head back here. This is kind of like the old school where you see it in the movies where they're wearing the really thin cotton mask for the movies, where they took it and they tied it on top of the headgear mask that they had. They tie it up here, and they tie it at the back of their neck like that. And using the seam binding, you just use a sheet, cut it 1.5 inches in strips. Remember to iron it in half, then fold the ends to meet like that. And there you have your seam binding. Now, if this isn't thick enough for you, you can always increase the size. You know, instead of 1.5 inches, you can go with 2 inches to go across the bridge of your nose. You know, they can still tie it if it's even thicker, as long as they've got a mask. Now, if you have, some people don't have iron-on interfacing. And I did not check. I had some iron-on interfacing that I had been setting aside to make my husband a t-shirt quilt. But I have a t-shirt in here. T-shirt fabric, I should say. And instead of the interfacing, because I hadn't found my interfacing yet, had to dig around to look for it. But you can use t-shirt fabric to put inside, even if you're not even using denim like I use. If you're just using plain cotton fabric, you need to put an extra piece of something inside of it to help also filter. It'll help. You know, it'll help you from getting it, hopefully. It'll decrease your chances. But if you have the virus, but you're not showing any signs of it, this will help others around you to not get it. So, I hope this helps. I know it's a rough example. I'm not very good at doing a can't even say it. This is my first time to do one. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of ill-prepared. It's been a rough couple of days. Weather changes, and fibromyalgia just doesn't like weather changes. Sometimes it just doesn't like to be whatever it wants to do. It just doesn't like life. So it's been a challenge the last couple of days. So I hope this helps. Can't hurt. But please, everyone, stay safe. Our community is dear to me, and so is my family. We have nursing homes here that the outbreak is just out of control. Whole nursing homes. Yeah. So they're asking people if their relatives in any nursing home now, if they could take their relatives home to do it before the virus gets somehow into their nursing home, and trying to get the elderly folks out of there into a safer environment until they can get things under control. The last newscast said that they're not increasing. The numbers aren't as increasing as fast as they had been from Friday to Monday, where they almost doubled. We're well over 1,000 cases that have been diagnosed, and 18, 19 deaths so far, but nothing compared to what New York is going through. And let's keep our prayers out for everybody in our country, and our doctors and nurses, our first responders, our police officers, everyone that's working, that's providing food for everyone that's out there that has money. Also pray for those that are without jobs, that are hurting, don't know how they're going to pay their rent, how they're going to pay their bills. Let's keep everybody in our prayers, because this is something none of us have ever faced in our lifetime or in our country's lifetime. Just have to keep our faith and know that God's in control. But let's keep our prayers up for everyone. And y'all, stay safe. I love you. I really need y'all around. You don't know how much every one of your videos have brightened my day, helped me to learn things. I have learned so much from everyone, and I want to thank you for blessing me. My heart has been filled so many times, and just watching someone open their happy mouth, to see their smiles or to hear their voices filled with so much joy, that's a heaven sent for me. It really is. Just to watch somebody else being so happy and thrilled, that's an incredible feeling. It really is. So I want that to continue. And I love y'all. Y'all take care. And I hope this video, as rough as it is, will help. God bless and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.